Hey everybody, Invisible Katana here doing a yay or nay episode for Gears of War 4. It got announced last year at E3. It actually looked really cool. Got some more footage. We got some single player stuff. If you look around, there's a ton of multiplayer footage as well. They're doing 30 frames per second for single player, and it's actually so that they can do more kind of high fidelity stuff with the world, which I thought was very interesting. But multiplayer is going to be 60 frames per second, so that's pretty cool. They have it where there's some new features in this. One of the big things is, of course, with this game being like the cover shooter sort of video game, they have some new elements to that. So they have like these pods that you can shoot. Sometimes they're hanging from the ceiling. You can shoot them, they drop down, you create cover. The AI can do the same thing, but you can also destroy the cover and they can destroy your cover as well. Excuse me. But sometimes that might backfire on you. So you might shoot a pod down for cover and they'll destroy your pod. And the pod could actually have two types of creatures in it. So one is called a juvie, and that's like the new sort of swarm-based type of creature. And another, I believe, is called like the screamer. So that's it's a much worse creature. And I thought that was a cool idea. It's like, okay, so it's a dangerous game that you're playing because, of course, no matter what, if something comes out of it, it's always going to attack you. So even if you destroy their cover, it's like, okay, I have to destroy this enemy's cover. It could be a juvie enemy, which is like, okay, I can take down both of those things. But it also could be a tougher enemy. So it's like you have whatever enemy you're fighting plus an even stronger enemy than that. Or you could have a weaker enemy. So you're kind of rolling the dice. It could also be nothing on the inside as well. So I thought that was a pretty cool mechanic. The weather in this game, they've clearly added a lot to that, which we got to see at the Microsoft conference when they were killing enemies and stuff, and it was a huge like windstorm. So when they would die, the bodies almost became weightless and they were being carried off by the wind. I was like, okay, that's really cool. They kind of put them into that ragdoll sort of mode and they just get carried off by the wind. I thought that visually looked pretty cool. Just the dynamic of it so far is kind of like it carries the dead bodies off, so that's not much. But I'm sure there's a lot more to that. And they also use it as a part of the story when they kind of fling like the big grenades in there and you shoot them and it's like, oh, the wind carried it. But that's obviously that was like a scripted thing. But I feel like, we might get to see that in other parts of the game where it's like, oh, it's the wind is going this way and here's an explosive barrel. It's over there, but the enemies are like right in front of you. But if you shoot it and blow it up, maybe it would carry the flames across and it could actually affect the enemy. So I think that's a cool idea where they have that where it's like, okay, it's little stuff here and there. I don't know if it's dynamic weather or if it's set all the time. I believe it's just set all the time. I didn't hear anything about the weather. It can rain in a certain level or it can become like a crazy windstorm. So I think it's set as what it is per level. But I still think that's pretty cool. So you have those ideas and those new concepts that they're kind of adding to the gameplay, which I just think little touches, but it can definitely come up a lot. And I'm assuming with them being new touches, they will come up a lot throughout the campaign. So I thought that was actually pretty cool. We get to see outside of the new enemies, or outside of like the little typical enemies like the smaller swarm enemies, we have like the jumping creatures, which were premiered like in the very first demo that we saw last year. Those creatures seem pretty cool. So they jump around a lot, and if you stay behind cover too much, they'll jump to that cover to try to get you out of cover. So I thought that was pretty cool. But also, if their health is low enough, or if you just time it right, I don't think their health even has to be low. If you time it right, when they jump at you, you can actually chainsaw them in midair. So when I saw that, I was like, that looks really cool. I love that idea. If you just time it right, you can just chainsaw midair, boom, you just got rid of an enemy. Plus, you did it in a really sweet way. I'm sure they're going to make a trophy for that. That's almost a guarantee, like just kill one in midair. But it looked really cool. So I like that idea. I was like, that's actually very awesome. Of course, it's co-op, which is really nothing new. They've had that for a while, but it is going to be co-op. I believe, I know they're doing split screen. I don't know if they're doing full-on 3-player co-op where you can do 2 split screen or even 3 split screen. I don't know if they've had that in the other games, but they're at least doing split screen. They may have 3-player co-op where you can have all 3 characters get controlled. Because I know they had, at least for Gears 3, if I remember right, they did have 4-player co-op. So I would assume they're going to have the 3-player co-op in this. Maybe 4 players. So far, we've only seen 3 people, even in all the demos and stuff I've looked at. I haven't seen another person. So it's basically it's Marcus's son, it's the female character, and then it's the other guy. So at this point, it seems like it's going to be a three-player sort of campaign where they all stick together all the time. So we'll kind of just have to see how that plays out. They might add a fourth character later on, but it seems like it'll be kind of a three-player co-op campaign throughout. And like I said, they might change that. That could be like really early on, or it could be like a crazy thing where one person has to go off on their own. I would love that. I always love that about games. I always wish somebody would do that, where it's like sometimes the story splits you up no matter what, and somebody just has to go off on their own. I kind of doubt that because it's Gears of War, so it's kind of always, you know, you stick together and it's always at least two players. Maybe they will do that where it, you know, goes away from the three players, but generally when they do that, it's always like, oh, you're just right there, so you're up, you're high and we're low, so maybe they'll do that, but at least at this point, it's still only three people. So unless they do have something really cool where it's a fourth character and he's like off somewhere else, or it's another female character, so we have the two guys, two girls thing. Unless they do that, we just have the three people. I believe I also saw some gameplay where it really was just the male character and the female character. They seem to be like the main two. So I really don't know if we're going to get the three-player co-op, but I assume that we will, at least in certain levels, if they're going to do it that way. But still thought it was cool, so we're going to have our co-op. Lots of new elements for multiplayer. It looks really good. Like I said, they're going to be doing 60 frames per second for that, which is very nice. They've added some little touches to it. One of the big ones, I think, is they've added over cover kills, which I thought was pretty cool. So when two people are on one side of cover, in the old games, you had to jump over it to kind of stun them a little, and then you get to attack them. But in this, if you time it right, you just reach over cover, and then you kill them. So I thought that was a cool little addition to the game. The visuals, of course, it's on a new console. It looks really freaking great, so I'm excited to see that. They've already talked about how, you know, they're working on stuff for Scorpio, and how the game will be able to, like, up-res to 4K and stuff like that. So it's going to look phenomenal, and if you happen to have an Xbox One and you get it, and then you get the One S. One S actually doesn't really do anything, I don't think, visually. I think it does. It's better HDR, that's what it is. And then, of course, Scorpio does actual 4K games. So if for whatever reason you buy it, you wait to get the Xbox One S, so you buy Gears 4 and you get it, and then you get the Xbox One S, it'll look better. And then if you go to Scorpio, even after that, it'll look even better. So it will get better, or it'll just look better in general throughout the three systems, and it'll actually kind of self-upgrade in a sense because they put that in there. So I thought that was really cool. Probably my favorite thing actually to hear is that if you pre-order this game, they didn't give an actual time span, he just kind of said soon. But if you pre-order this one, you'll get the last 4 games for free. So you will get I would assume they'll just do, I guess it would be digital. I don't know if it's going to be physical or digital, but you get Gears 1, 2, and 3, and Judgment as well, if that's the game. I haven't played, honestly, I never played 3 or the last one. So, I don't really know. I'm pretty sure it's called Judgment, though. But you get all 4 of those games, plus you get this one. So I thought that was actually very cool. It's kind of like the Halo Master Chief Collection, but, you know, obviously for Gears. So that's pretty cool. If you didn't happen to get the remastered version, which I haven't because I don't have an Xbox One. So that would be something that would be pretty cool. If I was going to buy an Xbox One, which I still don't know now because of the whole Scorpio thing, and if I want to wait or if I want to get them now, I really have no clue. But if I were to get an Xbox One S, that's definitely something I would do because I never got to really play through the third game. I played the first 2. I wouldn't mind replaying them remastered at this point because I basically played them. I played the first and second game basically when they came out. The first one, actually I may have played them both like a year or so, almost a year after each one came out, and I never got to play the third game on 360. And I never played Judgment either. So I wouldn't mind getting that. And you know, for people that like the games but didn't get the remastered trilogy and stuff like that, you can get all the games. I don't know if they didn't mention whether or not the 4th game would be remastered or anything like that, so I would assume it is, and yeah, that would be cool as well. But maybe that was a bit of an announcement, but he didn't make it an announcement that might be getting its own little remaster as well. But thought that was pretty cool. I do like the Gears franchise, even though I haven't played. It's just one of those games that my cousin really loved it, so I knew I never had to buy it. I could just play it. I could just borrow it from him. And I never did online either. So it was like, you know, I never wanted to really get it because it was like I'd be I really want to do online so much because I actually like the online for that game, but I just hated paying for it because I didn't play on it enough. I never, really cared that much to do online. So I wouldn't mind getting it. I think it looks pretty cool. Honestly though, as cool as it looks, I'm like straight in the middle for this. I'm not. It's no yay or nay for this. I'm like straight in the middle because it's like it looks cool. It's Gears of War, like Gears of War. Um, it's just not like doing anything. It doesn't like blow my mind or anything crazy like that. It looks visually, it kind of does because even going from 3, it just looks so much better. It looks really crazy. And of course, if you saw like the trailer, like the remaster trailer for the first game, just like man, those comparisons how they look. And that's from the first game too, so that's different than the third game, but. It's like, man, that's really the only thing that kind of like blows my mind. And plus, there are a lot of night levels. There are day levels. That was something they actually asked in the interview. Like, are there actually levels that take place during the day? Because they have only shown us nighttime stuff. But the developer mentioned like that was because they want to kind of introduce these characters or the creatures in a really creepy sense, which I actually love that. I was like, that's a cool idea. I like horror stuff, so I'm always up for anything being creepier. I'm totally fine with that. So that's actually why I was so excited when I saw that first time. I was like, this is really creepy and it's Gears of War. And that made me like it more, actually. Like, that really got me more than... It kind of went back to the normal gameplay. It wasn't super creepy anymore. And I was like, no, it's just, the action stuff. So if we get more little creepy stuff here and there, that'll be fine. There are also new weapons, of course. They have... it's sort of like a construction thing, and it shoots saw blades, but you let go of the trigger and it turns into like a drill bomb that goes down and then it'll explode. I thought that looked really cool. There's some other stuff I'm sure they showed in there that kind of looks so similar it didn't even seem like a new weapon to me, but mostly it was this sort of buzzsaw drill bomb weapon. It's like a buzzsaw that you shoot out and then you let it go and it becomes a drill slash bomb. So it's like 3 things in one, but it looks really cool. Excited to see where they go with this. Curious about the story. I don't really know the story off of 3, but I know enough. So I am curious where they're gonna go with this, and of course it's set way in the future. So we have Marcus is much older and stuff like that. So there's just some interesting story elements that can be done there. So far, it's really just been shoot these creatures, do this, do that, and it's just been the action because that's what people really care about. But as a story guy, I want to know where they're going with this. Are they going to kind of kickstart the story again? Are they going to, is this going to be kind of like Halo where it's like, here's Gears 4, and now we're doing a new trilogy or something like that? Because I haven't heard anything like that. It seems fairly standalone. So it does, it just has me very curious. Is this going to be the last one? Which I kind of doubt because they've decided to bring it back after so long. I feel like this is kind of rejuvenating it. So... it just makes me wonder what are they going to do with the story and where are we going from here. But I'm kind of like straight down the middle. Also, like I said, with me not actually having an Xbox One, it's hard for me to get, too excited because it's like, I know I'm not going to get this game. Even when it comes out, I won't be getting it anytime soon after that unless I win an Xbox One. Because I'm seriously torn right now with the Xbox One S and the Scorpio announcement. It's like, I kind of just want to wait now. It's one of those things. Like, I wanted Xbox One. They have games I want. For sure. They definitely do. Like, Dead Rising I want, even though it's on PC. But the PC version sucked, which is why I never bought it. Because it just kept me like, there's glitches here and there. So I was like, well, crap, I have to wait till I get an Xbox One. But they have some exclusive stuff. Sort of now. Everything's Windows 10. So actually, I might get it. Who knows? I wasn't even thinking about that. I was thinking all Xbox One. But I actually might be able to get it now. Because everything's Windows 10, I'll just be like, well, sure, why not? So, that does change it a little bit, but I'm still very in the middle. Because, like, it's Gears of War, I like it. It's a lot like Call of Duty for me. It's like, I like the games, mostly for story. I kind of hate Call of Duty multiplayer. But I like the story. I actually like the story for the games. Gears, quite a bit more. But that's kind of why I play them, so not for the online. So, I'm not 100% sure if I'd ever actually buy it. Unless no one I know ever gets the game, then I might just not, I wouldn't have a choice. I'd kind of have to buy it to play it. So, it's slightly possible, but at this point, I'm like straight down the middle. It's like, it looks cool, and that's really it. I just don't really care that much about Gears, but I've always enjoyed the franchise, so, and if this doesn't look like it sucks either, so I'm not going to be like, nay, because it's ugly or crap. It's Gears. It seems like it's going to be pretty fun. Would love to know if you guys are super excited, not really excited, kind of like me, like just it's that franchise, like, you play it, if somebody has it, you will borrow it to enjoy it, and then it's like, here you go, not gonna miss it anymore. So that's just how that franchise has always been for me. Finish the story, alright, I'm done, and I don't really care about multiplayer. But we'd love to know what you guys think, so please comment below, let me know. Yay, nay, just straight down the middle, don't really care either way. We'd love to know what you guys are thinking about it, so please comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.